The highly anticipated first-person shooter, Black, is as solid as the color it's named after. Electronic Arts and Criterion Games have maxed out the power of the Xbox and PS2 with grace and style. The game has continually challenging gameplay, impressive graphics, and tons of replay value. Black puts you in the boots of a trained killer, as you start the game under interrogation for events that have already taken place.
Our crew is assigned to take him out.
The story is not very complicated, and although your objectives are constantly changing, each of them is easy to understand, and challenging to execute. The plot doesn't get nearly as dramatic as other first-person shooters, which makes it refreshing to play a character that's just doing his job. If you weren't aware of the fact that the game was written as the first part of a trilogy, you may feel the story is lacking, but the simplicity and open-endedness of the events will leave plenty of breathing room for future possibilities.
2-1, stand by. I think I got something.
The control in Black provides you with almost everything you need to survive, minus the ability to jump and look around corners. You may be thinking this when you get stuck behind a short wall or broken box, but most likely you'll be too distracted by the mirage of bullets heading your way to make a big fuss about it. There are 4 levels of difficulty to choose from. The harder ones will provide more hidden weapons and objectives to accomplish throughout each area, but decrease the amount of available health packs. You're given up to 2 weapons at the start of each mission, and like Halo, you can only hold 2 of them at a time along with a stash of hand grenades. You can swap between your guns and replace them with new ones you find in hidden areas or on dead enemies. This adds the necessary realism to the game because your average soldier can't carry 10 different high-powered weapons. You have to think about what you pick up and when. For those who love to run and gun, there's a variety of submachine guns and assault rifles. There's a sniper rifle and suppressors for more precise killing, and a couple of shotguns for close-quarters demolition. This heavy artillery allows you to open locked doors and clear rooms effectively. If you're low on ammo, you can perform a melee attack with each weapon. You can also switch between single-shot, burst, and fully automatic fire. Reloading your weapon is also one of the unique focus points of the gameplay. There are 2 different methods, one for when you're under fire, and another for when you're out of harm's way. The time it takes you to reload varies with each gun, which makes some battles more difficult. You can reload the MAC-10 quickly, but if you need a refill on an M60, you'll definitely need to find some cover. The variety of weapons and huge levels offer multiple strategies in combat, which gives Black its strong replay value. You can snipe from a distance, run in guns blazing, or pick the environment apart around your enemies piece by piece. The random objectives never take away from what makes the gameplay in Black so amazing: ballistic, non-stop action. The most impressive part of the design in Black is the way the environment affects the gameplay. A good amount of each area was created to take damage, as it would in real life, so walls will crumble as you spray a room with your Uzi. Hit or miss, your bullet will not disappear from the game world until it impacts something. Bullets actually redirect themselves after striking some surfaces. For a current-gen title, the particle work in Black is stellar. At times, the air will be completely hazed over with dust and debris, and enemy muzzle flashes will become your only reference for targeting. The force of nearby explosions will send glass shards flying from windows, and fires will continue to burn well after they're started. This dimension of detail adds a bit of difficulty, and makes the action even more chaotic than it already is. A great deal of attention was also paid to the realism of each weapon. The guns are all different, but they still feel consistent. They pack a lot of power, whether you're shooting one or dodging incoming fire. Criterion also added a depth of field effect to each weapon reload that leaves you completely focused on the weapon you're using. It's an eye-catching feature if you're okay with losing sight of your enemy for a few seconds. As fun as it is to turn each area into a fireworks show, some of the explosive objects are placed a little too perfectly. That or enemy forces will often move dangerously or deliberately towards a gas tank that will send them across the room with a couple of well-placed shots. But even though the enemies can get clumsy, blowing up a barrel in the face of angry mercs as they charge at you never gets old. The physics of the objects and animation of the enemies can create some entertaining and almost choreographed action sequences. Those that favor the gruesome appendage-removing, head-exploding effects from other action shooters like Doom and Fear might be disappointed to learn that Black has no blood or gore. The effects and animation are excellent, but one might argue that without that type of carnage, Black doesn't reach the level of true realism it's shooting for. The game has 8 extensively detailed levels, each built to a scale that is often surprising. There are times when you think a level is over and you'll discover you've just scratched the surface. There's enough content for at least 6 to 10 hours of gameplay, and you can replay any part of the game you've already completed. There's enough originality in each level to make the missions progressively challenging and interesting, but the majority of the action takes place in urban environments. A lot of them make you feel like you're playing a familiar scene from your favorite action movie, but some might find the environments a little bland and repetitive after a while. There are teammates that will fight by your side in some missions with decent AI, but unfortunately, there is no multiplayer. This was intentional, as Criterion poured all of their energy into refining their single-player experience, but the game is so good you'll be dying to play it against your friends. And although it can often get as adrenaline-pumping as Criterion's other franchise, Burnout, there are no vehicles in Black. There are plenty you can blow up, but none that you can drive. This doesn't take away from the game significantly, but it's ironic considering the games share the same technology. Living up to its expectations, Black is an instant classic in the genre. The interactive realism of the weapons and environments will immediately immerse you in its world of Hollywood-style action. And the sharp design and chaotic but smooth gameplay cast a pretty big shadow over the few missing features. Black is a must-have for anyone still making the best of the PS2 and Xbox.